Good morning. I'm Sensei Mish. This is Morning Tea with me. It is July 21st, Friday, 7:05 a.m. Just got my tea out, so we're going to start this out. So we are in the midst of Bram's 5-day experience. Really, it's the first. It's his birthday camp, basically, but for a chosen few, those who wanted to spend lots and lots of money, we did 5 days instead of 3. So there's still the regular 3-day camp. In fact, if you're in the area or want to fly in, you can still come. But the first day we went out to I don't know really what we went out to Pacific City on the coast, and we trained bolos on the beach. We had lunch at the Pelican Brew Pub, and it was great training, great food. I posted pictures the other day. It was it was an awesome drive out there, and then nice blue sky, some rough road because you're driving to the coast. And anyway, so and then when we actually get into Pacific City, it's cloudy. So the one thing about the beach there, because you've got the sand when you go out to the beach, you've got the sand dunes on this side, and then you've got the beach, and you have this huge rock like right out in the middle of your view, and it's a gorgeous view. I've been there at sunset, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Good morning. I will see you in a few hours. So we get out there, and it's just like you can't see the sand dunes. You can barely see the sand dunes, and then sand dunes just kind of jet out a little bit. Couldn't see that. Couldn't see the rock. The people that had never been there are like, yeah, Mish, you're full of crap. There is no rock. And the fog would dissipate and then come back, and then dissipate and come back. But we never saw the rock until we were pretty much ready to leave. Like it was, I don't know, 3 or 4 it was probably about 3 or 4 when we first saw it. And it was just like this little sliver on the top of the ocean. And then it really presented itself in the last hour that we were there. So, and then we got back to the dojo and had basically pizza and beer as we watched one of Bram's favorite movies, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So it was great time was had by all. I think it was like I don't know, mid 60s. So the temperature, it was chilly. Tom Gallo was freezing the entire time because he's like that big. And then yesterday we went out to Stonehenge and out in the gorge. It's basically it's out in Maryhill, Washington. So this time we were on the right in the Columbia River, and it's like somebody had recreated Stonehenge from what it should look like of what's in England, but they set it up as like a World War I memorial, I think. Anyway, we went there, took pictures, and then we went down to the state park and trained. And it was great location, had nice shade, but it was hot. Like it was hot. I think at the top it reached about 99 degrees. And but that did not stop us from training. However, it did stick us to our itinerary of training until 4 and then coming back home. So I have not posted pictures from that, but we have some great pictures, great video. Actually, in classic Bram fashion, at some seminars, he'll be like, okay, you go up and teach this. And so And so he had, we were working with Bowie on yesterday. And so he wanted me to show backwards, and based on what we were doing. And I was like, so I get up there, I show everybody, they go do it. I have a brain fart, come back, show them, oh, hey, by the way, don't forget about this if you haven't already figured it out for yourself. And they go back. So I'm watching the video, and, it's very common for him to, have one of his instructors do something like that, continue the instruction as he sits and talks with people. Well, I think the instruction I gave was good for the few minutes that I was up there, but you can't hear me because he's still on the mic. So it's me and Ed, but he's on the mic. So on this video, I have to just make it silent, and then maybe try and recreate. I'll just voice over. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just put in some, like, I'll find the audio from the audio clip from the end of the Holy Grail, and then put that as a track over the video. So there's some type of sound, but it's not like I taught for long. It's like, I think both sections maybe are like 2-3 minutes each. So it's really not that bad. But when I was checking the audio that last night, I was like, stupid me, I didn't unplug Bram when I went to go teach. So it is what it is. That's really good. Hold on a second. My cats are running around like little banshees. And unplug the laptop. Okay. So anyway, so that was yesterday. Today begins day 3, or really the first day of the regular camp. It's all 3 days are happening at the dojo, up at the school, and it's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to have a bunch more people there. We've got people coming from out of town, from everywhere. So, Bill, what's going on? So yeah, it's fun. Oh, so this is funny. Funny story. So yesterday we're in Maryhill. We're in the process of cleaning up, and this one guy, he's walking with his dogs, and he's like, what does he say? He says, are you guys filming? Are you filming something? And I was like, well, it's like, well, yeah, we're, I said, he's our instructor. We're martial artists. We're, filming him. We film everything, every time he comes out, we film all of his instruction. And he goes, I thought you were like LARPers or something. And for those who don't know what LARPers are, it's live action role play. So it's people who basically dress up and then act out Dungeons and Dragons or vampire, whatever role playing game. That's what LARPing. So it's not real. So I've always joked about that there are some martial arts out there that are that there are some martial artists. There are martial LARPists. And I said, no, sir. I said, we're actually we're not martial LARPists. We're martial artists. And he's like, oh. And then, we asked a couple more questions. So I ended up giving him my business card, and he looks at my name and he goes, Mish Handworker. He looks at me, he goes, Handworker? I said, that's your last name? I was like, it is. He says, "Are you married?" And before I could answer, he's like, not for me, not for me. I have this this female friend. She's single, and she would love to date a dude whose name is Handworker. And I'm telling Lisa this last night, this story, and she just starts busting up. She's like, you got picked up on. Oh my God. So, hey, you two, be nice. Cats are playing. Let's see. You sold your red truck. So I know you bought a black one, right? So of course you'd have to sell it. I hope you got what you were asking for it. I can't remember how much you were asking, but I hope you got what you were asking for. And good morning, Danny. I will not see. So Dan came and Professor Anderson came and watched Holy Grail with us. That was fun. And then he will actually be joining us on Saturday. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Well, good. Yeah. Very good, Bill. But yeah, that tickled me that I got picked up on. And I was joking with Lisa. I was like, "Ooh, I still got it." And she's rolling her eyes. She's like, "You're such an idiot." But yeah, so there's that. And so Bram is with Miss Amy. He's every time she comes to the camp, she's like, "Oh, can I take Bram to breakfast?" I'm like, "Yes, steal him, feed him, so I don't have to." Yeah, she did give me the Lisa face. She's like, "Whatever, like you're an idiot." But yeah, Miss Lisa's here. So Odessa is here, and it's so cool because Odessa is Odessa Ramos. She is the one that the Desson Gut is named for, and she lives in Switzerland, works pretty much all around the world. I guess right now she's working somewhere in Iraq, but yeah. So she came. Like we have people coming from other countries to see Bram this year. And she's been talking about coming to see Bram since I started doing this with, when he was 65. This is year 6. I cannot believe that this is year 6. So she was finally able to come. Never met her before, but it's just what a great person. Very insightful, very loyal to Bram. So yeah, it's good to meet her, and we have some new people coming this year. So it's going to be fantastic. And my little school, we're going to cram about 30 people in there. So it'll be fun. I'm truly looking forward to it. Truly looking forward to it. And this is how engrossed I am in this camp, is that I haven't even seen this week's episode of Strange New Worlds, which I usually watch by now because it's Friday. It comes out Thursday. Sometimes I'm watching it Wednesday night. So we will, I don't know. We'll see. Rob already sent me a message of, hey, this is what I think, well, let's just say this. I didn't read it because I didn't want anything to be given away. Because he's usually, I don't know about this episode, or, oh, this episode was great. So those type of comments, though I try not to put a lot of, I want to experience the episode myself and see if I hate it or like it or love it. So But yeah, I probably won't do that until Monday. So, which is nuts. Um, uh, Today we start at 10. So, I'll most likely promptly get off at 8, regardless of if my tea is finished or not. So I can get up to the school, open the school at 9, get people in there because, and even though martial art camps never start on time, I don't think I've ever been to a martial arts seminar that has actually started on time. Yeah. And if I have, it's uh, it's maybe been one. And it's funny because I remember, what is it? I was going to go see. Lisa and I drove to Boise once, Boise, Idaho, to see Jack Hogan. It was Jack Hogan and Bruce Chu. I don't think Leon J was there because for a little while they did like a Masters of the Next Generation thing. And was it? I know that there was a bunch of other people showed up. Dave Daniel, can't remember if that's plural. Anyway, so he hosted it, but we were driving, planning on getting there an hour before the seminar started. And I remember being on whatever road we were on, and it says, welcome to Mountain Time, and it's like, oh, I didn't even think that it was in a different time zone. I had completely forgot about it, which meant that we were not going to be arriving an hour early. We were going to be arriving right on time. And I started to stress out a little bit, but I was like, these things never start on time. Like they never start on time. And so we got there and right on time. Like it was like if the seminar started at 10, we were there at 10. And I think it maybe started like 10 or 15 minutes later. So generally that's what's considered like on time. So, but I'm going to try and get it because I try and get stuff started for the most part on time, give 3 hours of training, lunch, 3 hours of training. But the one thing I've learned from this camp so far is you can write an itinerary, because this is really like, I've always had like general itineraries in my head, but like for this, especially with traveling, it's like, okay, I want to leave at this time. It's going to take about this long to get there. So we're going to have about this much hour of training. We're going to eat lunch at this time. And it's just like, we'll just let it happen. Like just, so I learned to, at least the last couple of days, just to learn to let go. Just let it go. Everybody's learning, everybody's having fun. And that's, it's good instruction. There's no doubt about that. But and it's also about these friends reconnecting. This is like, especially around Bram's birthday, one of the things I really like about doing these seminars or these camps is that it's all about friends coming together. And whether it be to help Bram celebrate his birthday or just to come together, like it's like going to Indiana. Like it's a bunch of friends getting together and beating each other up. That's kind of what a camp is for. And from my standpoint, if I learn one thing, then it's been worth it. If I got to reconnect with a friend or meet somebody new, it's all worth it. If I got to, help somebody have that aha moment, it's all worth it. So I don't know. It's uh, I don't know. That's you know when you're a younger martial artist going to the camps, you're going there to learn and potentially make friends. You know that that's going to happen, but really, as you get older, it is I'm getting together with my friends, and we're going to play, and we're going to have a good time. And somebody always like these little nuggets that it's like, oh, I figured this out, and this is it's like, oh, I didn't even think of that. So it's all about that. So, and even like for my birthday experience, uh, which I did not have this year, I plan to have next year. But with that, it's I last year I had this one gal. She's first degree black belt, different art than well, I mean, everybody else, all different arts there. Anyway, so she was very concerned that, here she is, just a first degree black belt, been in the martial arts, quite a while, but when it comes to rank, she's very, and it also age. I think my eldest is younger than her. And she's like, well, I hope I did okay. And I said, look, I said, all these guys out there are old enough to be your dad. We've all been in the martial arts longer than you've been alive. But if you noticed, you had some of these, 6th, 7th, and 8th degree black belts going, wow. Like you had them kind of like, that's really cool. And I said, if you can get people to do that, you have more than done your job. So yeah, it was everybody has something to give. I'm always up on that. So but yeah, so that's kind of been what's going on. Also putting on a camp like this is a ton of work. I think I've talked about that in the past. Before everything started, Lisa and I were at the school getting bags together because the 5-dayers, they got Bram knives, live Bram knives, the Bram Bowie and the Bram Bowie Bolo, and then you've got they got trainers from Tack Knife, John over at Tack Knife, and he made some good trainers. These things really take a wallop. And they got, they were going to get a camp shirt. They got 3. So we got, one for each day of our field trips, which I have another story that's a pretty funny story on that. And then the Saturday camp shirt, the regular shirt. But then they just get all this other gear. Like, I made a training journal. I made, they all got a training journal. John from Tack Knife sent pens and, I just know them as a beer cozy, but it's basically, a foam thing that goes around a can, usually beer or soda. Hey, stop it. Kata, stop. And, and then what else did they get? They got a bunch of stuff, and we put it in a bag. Like we got these bags, put the patch, put the CSSD patch on there. So it all came, and then Lisa made name tags, so we're bagging all this stuff, and Lisa's like, next time you do this, I'm like, no, there's not going to be a next time. This 5-day thing, I'll do the 3-day thing all day long. 5-day thing, that's a lot of work, a lot of organization. We rented a van, driving, and just because you would think that, oh, well, I could do a 5-day thing in the dojo, but really part of the experience is to not just see the inside of a school, is to actually experience the world around us and do the same stuff. Like we got some weird looks. Well, there was this one surfer that he was just like, we actually had our live blades out and we were just kind of just feeling them out, twirling, um, uh, and he's just like, you just see him look, and I'm seeing this guy, and I'm just like, okay, so how long is it taking? How long is it going to take to, for the cops to show up? Because we did not need a permit. We were not a huge group. We didn't need a permit. You just show up. Having knives and machetes, not illegal. So nobody came, nobody bothered us. In fact, one woman came over after lunch. She came over and asked us if we were training to be pirates, and which I thought was kind of cute. She's like, and the reason that she came over and asked, of course, A, she was curious, but B, she also said, I try and ask somebody, interact with somebody I don't know once a day. And, by asking, not just by saying hi, but actually asking and talking, asking a question and talking to them. And I was like, that is what a cool thing to do. Like every day meeting somebody new. We've got a couple people up here. Say hi if you can. I don't know if some of these people are still on here that have commented. Oh, and there's one gone. So usually when I say that, one person disappears. Anyway, so I thought that was funny. Now the funny story that I have with the shirt. So, one of the reasons I did a camp shirt for each day is basically just to kind of give us an idea. It's that, kind of a seminar memento, but also like if we are out in a group, other people will see that we are all together. And it's not for us to get lost. But what was really funny is that we get to the beach, we get out of the van, and driving that van was an interesting experience. Because I rented a 15 passenger Colt van. And so anyway, so we get out of the van, got all our gear, locking up, and we're heading down to the beach. And there's a group of kids, all with it, they're on some camp, excursion, whatever, and they've got on their camp shirts, all that they all look alike. And then we've got on our shirts, we all look alike. And I just thought that was cute. It's like, oh, well, they have those shirts on so they can be identified and not lost. And, we have ours for, so at least we can be identified. And so I was telling Lisa this story, and she's like, oh, well, that's so cute. You got a bunch of little kids, going out to the beach and they're leaving. And then you have a bunch of big kids all together going to the beach to have some fun too. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. So, just some observations that I made. But yeah, so it's been super fun. I do hope that when I am 70, which is, I don't know, 19 years from now, that I have a student that wants to do something like this for me, like put in all that work. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It is what it is. But I think, I don't know. I even though there's of course stress involved and worry and all that kind of stuff, it's still fun. Like, again, seeing all my friends, beating each other up, having those aha moments, learning something new, like the swedge on the back of the brand buoy. And even if you go back to the Abanico or any knife that has a bladed swedge on the back, modular became bigger just with that. So yeah, it's very, 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 very cool. So but today we're gonna, like, I think I started talking about it. Camp starts at 10 or around there. Like, they never start on time. I talked about that. We'll have lunch. So training, lunch, more training. We're gonna break at about 5, and then about a 2-hour break, and then at 7 I will be back at school, and I will be teaching Naihanchi, and I'll be teaching Naihanchi and crimp to go along with that. So I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. And actually, there's some people that are just like, I saw that on the itinerary and I got more excited. So yeah, it's so yeah, it's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a very, very, very fun day. And then tomorrow, as all, we're going to have our regular day, 10 to 5, and then the birthday barbecue. And then Sunday goes till 4, and then it's over. So, which I'll be sad to see it over, but I'll also be glad that it's over. Bobby asked me, he's like, so he says, so with, he says, is there a nap time like figured into your itinerary? And I said, yeah, it's the drive home. Bill, I got to run some errands. Have a good camp. Yes, sir. Thank you for tuning in. We will talk soon or later or whenever. But I said, yeah, it's the nap time is the ride home. And he looks at me and he goes, no, for you. And I was like, yeah, that would be Monday. That's going to be my rest. That's going to be my nap time. I think all the normal things I do I'm just going to sleep. I do have classes on Monday, but for the most part, I'll be out. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Enjoying it. What's his name? Jim Korn's book. Pre-orders are going well. Like we've gone about, let's see, on Monday it'll be 2 weeks, and we've actually pre-sold quite a number of them. And I know that some people are holding out to get to pay full price. So if you are one of those people and you're going to pay full price from my website, because Jim gets a higher royalty from that. If you just put in priority shipping goes from $5 to $10, and then you're paying basically full price and $5 for shipping, standard shipping. So that is also an option, but no worries. Let's see. Thinking forward, September 8th. I know it's a couple months from now. September 8th is Star Trek's birthday. I'm thinking about doing having a Star Trek birthday party at the school. I think it's think it's a Friday, but I was basically gonna I was just having a party at the school, just having people there. They can dress up. We can talk Star Trek. We can do, I don't know. I might organize like a what do you call it? Organize a like trivia. I don't know, just some different things. Just some different things. Um, but my brain just kind of went dead. Sorry. I was thinking one thought and then it just kind of went away. But let's see. Yeah. The Star Trek thing, having a Star Trek party because it's the September 8th, Star Trek's birthday. The other thing I was thinking about, because we've had some movie nights at the school. We've had 2 so far. I wanted to do one every 2 weeks throughout the summer. And so we did the first one, projector on the wall, like even the night before when we had Monty Python the Holy Grail. It wasn't, we projected it on the big white wall that I have there at the school. And super, like, it was great, super fun. And I was thinking that Ahsoka, even though I would probably do this, I would probably want to do the same thing with Strange New Worlds. But I was thinking more people are into Star Wars than Star Trek. So I'll do a Star Trek party, but having like an Ahsoka night, and it'll be after the episode airs, so you can watch it yourself at home. But then you just come into the school on, I don't know, like a Saturday, like I do it Saturday evening, and get out the popcorn machine. We'll make popcorn and we just sit and eat popcorn and watch Ahsoka on a big screen. I also thought about doing that with the Patterson cut of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think that would be really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. Or I haven't decided if I want to do that, but thoughts going in my head, getting people in the school, even if it's not martial arts related, just to have fun, let's see. But yeah, that's kind of how all that is. Summer's going pretty well. Lots of students, like, it was funny. So Gordon, one of my students who moved away, came back for the Bram camp, and he was like, oh God, it's so cool to, just kind of come in. Cause he came in and visited for a little bit, the day before Bram got there, but he got in and he's like, yeah, he says, it's so fun just to see, so many kids on the floor, and it just being an active school, because, growth is hard that way, because, 1 or 2 students on the mat. Now there's 4 or 5 students on the mat, sometimes 7 or 8 students on the mat. So yeah, he says it's very cool to see that happen. So, and then, like, even with the movie night, we have kids that are in different classes interacting. So, so they're, basically making friends. And then you've also got kids that are in the same class that, instead of it being, okay, forward punch, opposite, down strike, kick the pad, all that kind of stuff, they're just playing and having fun because it's a movie night. So yeah, so that's it's always a fun thing to do there. So my thoughts. Okay, so I'm going to cut this short. My tea is kind of the way done, but I got a lot of stuff to do today. I still have to, we moved some stuff from the school to the house so we could have a dinner last night. And then I got to move some of that stuff back to the school. And there's all that kind of stuff. Good morning. I will see you soon. So, but anyway, so there's because I can't really think of anything else. My brain as I've been telling these stories, my brain has just started to melt. But yeah, I'm excited for today. And I don't know, that's it. I think we should just cut it short just because my brain isn't working anymore and I need it to work for the next 12 hours, I guess, at least 14 hours. So love to you all. I will some of you who are on here, I will most likely see later on today. And then I'll just be back on here next Friday. So cheers to y'all. Live long and prosper. Be safe. And I will see you